story. There are no Fed cuts from the Federal Reserve today. Obviously, this wasn't really breaking news per se, but it was as expected. It's exactly what the market expected. But no Fed cuts, and on top of it too, the Federal Chair Jerome Powell also says that he thinks that the economy is in a good shape. So, I thought I had a graphic for you there, but that's okay. But he says that the economy is in good shape. So nothing to fear, nothing to worry about. Fear not, you little rascals. The economy is just fine. Don't worry about it. Nothing to see here. All right, and the big story, we talked about this yesterday, and this was going on live while we were yesterday. The bill was being voted upon yesterday, which is the Genius Act. Crypto stablecoin bill has officially been passed by the House. It has officially been passed by the Senate and is expected to be passed by President Donald J. Trump. So this is a big deal for sure. This definitely is something, and it will institute trillions and trillions of dollars into bonds, and it will back the dollar, in my opinion, and keep that Ponzi scheme going even longer. So to be a derivative of a derivative of a derivative, you love to see it. Okay, so crypto is not a threat. This is according to Treasury Secretary Bassett. Today, Secretary Bassett said crypto is not a threat to the dollar. In fact, it strengthens and reinforces the dollar. And I would say with the passing of this bill, the Genius Act, that absolutely is true. So that is going to be really what it's going to institute is trillions of dollars of on-ramping from the federal government into cryptocurrency. And it's a very, very cannot be overstated how big of a deal it actually is. Okay. So Ethereum saw inflows of $216 million. So that was actually the spot ETFs, not Ethereum. My bad. Spot Bitcoin ETF saw $216 million yesterday, making it the 7th straight day in a row. So 7 straight days of positive inflows from Bitcoin, from Ethereum, 7 days in a row from net positive inflow. So while retail is panicking about the war, the institutions are buying. And we have proof. We have actual factual proof. Okay? Not just what I say. Don't just worry. Don't take my word for it. Literally, do as they do, not as they say. Okay? Do as they do, not as they say. All right. And speaking of spot ETFs, the first XRP spot ETF launches in Toronto Stock Exchange. So this is going to be a big deal. We've talked about this too as well, where not necessarily the leverage ETFs aren't as big of a deal as the actual spot ETFs. What we've seen from Bitcoin and Ethereum is the leverage ETFs, they don't mean as much as far as price action, but the spot ones do. So this is a big deal for XRP. One sort of domino to fall in the right direction, so to speak. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. And while this is happening, Ethereum reaches an all-time high of staked Ethereum. So this is the highest that Ethereum has ever been. So we're seeing records of inflows on the ETFs, and we're also seeing records of staked Ethereum at the exact same time. So price equals what? Ladies and gentlemen, it equals supply plus demand. So we're seeing record inflows while the supply has been locked up at the exact same time. Everything, everywhere, all at the same time. All right. And with that, let's get into the charts and the crypto, everybody. So let's start it off with Bitcoin, of course, is the one to start off with. As of the time of recording, Bitcoin is sitting at $104,000. Let me just pull up the screen real quick. There we go. All right, so as of the time of recording, Bitcoin's sitting at $104,400. Kind of a sideways day, and what we're still seeing basically is it's just chopping sideways. Okay, so retail is panicking with the war in Israel stuff, but this is like the same story. So the war in Israel, I don't know if you guys know this or not, that war has been going on for thousands of years. So it's hard for me to believe that it's market uncertainty with that, because that war has been taking place for thousands and thousands of years. Okay. But as it stands right now, Bitcoin is just chopping sideways and making slightly higher lows. And we'll see if we find support. On the 3-hour chart, we are about to get across to the upside. And the same is true for the 5-hour chart, not as much. But what I anticipate for Bitcoin is to continue to chop sideways. And the next sort of key level line in the sand is going to be the retracement in the micro, which is about $107,500. And to me, that for Bitcoin is going to be the decider. Are we going to continue to range, or are we going to make a real push to the next leg? And the next leg, of course, takes us to $118,000. Looking at Bitcoin dominance, it's still trending upwards on this retracement. So we'll see where it starts to roll over. We're about to get across on the 5-hour chart. And what I want to see is us take this out. 64.4 would be the first level, and then the more macro level is going to be 63.7%. But this is having a real hard time at this level right now. So this is probably about the 786 at this point, and we'll see. But it's not like it has a lot of steam or a lot of gas. I anticipate it to take this out. And it's all going to be dependent upon Ethereum. Ethereum, to me, is the key. Holds the key to the castle, and we're at the bottom of the range right now. So we talked about this earlier in a video, but essentially there's two plausibilities. There's two probabilities for Ethereum right now. Either A, it's going to find support off of the bottom of this range, which it has done 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, maybe 6 times. So this would be the 6th time finding support at the bottom of the range. Either A, that is what's going to happen, and then it's going to go to the top of the range again, which is about 2,900, or it will finally break to the bottom of the range and it will make a double bottom at about $2,300. Now, me personally, I think we're going to find support, but I have a plan of action, even if it doesn't. So if Ethereum decides it wants to break the support and make a double bottom over here, what I'm going to do, I have my limit orders in right now. I am ready right now. So I don't expect that to happen. I don't anticipate that to happen, but it's not necessarily about having predictions. It's about having plausibilities. What is the most plausible outcome to the upside? What is the most plausible outcome to the downside? Having a plan of action in either scenario. And as far as XRP low-key kind of is performing better very quietly, even though it's just chopping sideways, but it is performing a little bit better than Ethereum, and it's still just holding this as support, and that's what I anticipated. It's kind of the same story as Ethereum, though. There's two basic plausible outcomes. Either A, it's going to find support, which it has done 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, 5 times, 6 time, 7 time, 8 time, 9 times. Would this be the 10th time that XRP is going to find support on this trend? I vote yes. That is what I think is going to happen. And then it's going to make a plunge to the retracement, and we're going to see, does it have enough gas to actually make a fight to the upside, or are we going to get rejected and test it again? I think that is the most plausible outcome is XRP goes up to the retracement, gets rejected, tests the trend once again. But again, same thing. I have my limit orders at $1.80 if the opportunity presents itself. I don't think we're going to get that unless you're highly blessed, highly favored. But that is what I think for the market. In a nutshell, we are still just trending upwards. When we have these big events, typically what we see is that is what a local bottom looks like. That's what a local bottom feels like on the cryptocurrency markets. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Subscribe and follow for more if you're watching the replay. And if you're watching live, let's get into your guys' questions, comments, and concerns.